Almost everyone is looking in the wrong direction, and it's going to cost them one of the biggest opportunities of the next decade. Right now, everyone's trying to figure out how to use AI, how to build AI businesses, AI agents, AI avatars, AI content. Everyone's asking the same question. How do I make money with AI? But they're asking the wrong question entirely. AI has already changed the internet forever. It can write, it can design, it can edit, it can create videos. It can even create people that don't exist, which means every single day, the internet becomes more noisier, more content, more businesses, more creators, more AI, more noise, but less trust. So the question isn't, how do you compete with AI? Because you won't. AI is only going to get faster and bigger and better, smarter, cheaper, and more accessible. The real question is, what becomes more valuable because of AI? Because every time technology makes something easier, the advantage moves somewhere else, and almost nobody is paying attention to where it's moved. AI has completely changed the internet. 5 years ago, creating content was the hard part. You needed expensive cameras, you needed editors, designers, skills, but today, you can create a month's worth of content in a couple of hours. AI will write it, AI will edit it, AI will generate images, AI will generate videos. AI will even create people that don't exist. We've all seen it. But here's what most people get wrong. They think that's the bad news, but it isn't. AI has made attention easier to get than it's ever been. More people are posting, more businesses are creating content, more people have a voice, and that's a good thing. But every time something becomes easier, something else becomes more valuable. When everyone can create content, content stops being the advantage. When everyone can edit, editing stops being the advantage. When everyone can build AI avatars stop being the advantage. But reputation becomes the unfair advantage. Because AI can automate content, but it can't automate a reputation you've spent years building. And when people can't tell what's real anymore, they don't buy the best AI content. They buy from people they already know, the people they already trust, the people they already remember. That's why most people are still playing yesterday's game. They're asking, how do I use AI? But the better question is, how do I become somebody people fucking remember? Because once people know who you are, opportunities stop being something you chase and they start finding you. Clients, partnerships, investors, employees, even some of the best relationships you'll build in your life all start because somebody knew your name before they met you. That's the power of building a reputation. Now, this is where almost everybody stops. They realize reputation is valuable, so they start building a personal brand, right? They start posting, they start growing, start chasing followers, and then they hit a wall because nobody ever showed them what comes next. That's why you've got creators with hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of followers, still asking, well, how do I actually make money? Because they've spent years learning how to get attention, but without ever learning how to build a business. And that's exactly what I realized. When I first started posting, I didn't want followers, I wanted freedom. I didn't want to move to Bali because I wanted people to know my name. I moved because I wanted control over my life, and that's when everything changed. I stopped looking at my personal brand as the goal and I started looking at it as the vehicle. Followers don't change your life, the business behind them does. This is where everything changes, because this is the part almost nobody teaches. Everyone talks about content, everyone talks about hooks, everyone talks about the algorithms, but almost nobody teaches you what happens after somebody follows you, because that's where your freedom actually comes from. It doesn't come from the views. It comes from turning the attention into an actual business. Your offer, your sales process, your systems, your team. That's how attention becomes income. And eventually, that's how income becomes freedom. That's why I don't see personal brands as the destination. I see it as the starting point. Your personal brand opens a door, but your business keeps it open and your systems buy you freedom. And that's a completely different way of thinking. Most people spend years trying to become creators, but I'd rather build the owners, because creators chase the next viral video, but owners build assets long after they press publish. Now, this is the part that matters most, because this isn't really about personal branding. It's not even really about business. It's about getting your time back, because time is the only thing that you never get more of. You can always make more money. You can always build another business. You can never get back your last Tuesday. One day you wake up, you'll be 30, 40, 50, and you'll realize you spent years building somebody else's dream instead of your own. That's what this is really about. That's why I don't look at personal branding as content. I look at it as leverage. Every video you publish, every opinion you share, every lesson you teach, every piece of content you put out there into the world has the potential to introduce somebody new to your business. Whether you're asleep, at the gym, traveling, spending time with your family, or working on the next thing, that's leverage. Now compare that to somebody who only gets paid when they're sharp. If they stop, the income stops. If they take a month off, the income stops. If they get ill, the income stops. But if you build a business around your reputation keeps working even when you don't. That's why the goal was never followers. The goal was never views. The goal wasn't even the money. The goal is building a life you don't want to escape from. A life where you choose where you live, you choose where you work, You choose who you work with. You choose what your day looks like. You choose who you spend your time around. That's what I call freedom. And freedom doesn't happen because you make more money. Freedom happens because you build assets that stop relying on your time. That's why I've never been interested in building a personal brand just to become known. I've always been interested in building the business that gives me more freedom year after year, because that's the game I'm actually trying to win. Now, it's all well and good telling this information, but I want you to actually implement something today. I want you to spend the next 5 minutes doing one thing, and I want you to do it now. Open your notes app on your phone and just answer this one simple question. Why would somebody else choose to follow me? Don't overthink it, just get it done. Maybe you're documenting your journey from a 9 to 5 to running your own business. Maybe you're getting in the best shape of your life. Maybe you're moving to a new country. Maybe you're learning sales from scratch. Maybe you're building your first business. Maybe you're renovating your first house. Maybe you're learning a new skill that somebody else wants to learn. Or maybe you're just sharing the lessons that you wish somebody taught you sooner. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be one step ahead of the person who's watching. Now write down 10 things that you could talk about around that journey. The mistakes you're making, the lessons you're learning, the wins you're having, the things you're changing your mind around, the questions people keep asking you. Congratulations. You've just planned your first month of content. And if that exercise felt easier than expected, imagine what happens when you actually have people around you to help you build the whole system properly. Now, everything we've spoken about today, AI, reputation, personal branding, building a business, leverage, and freedom, see, none of that matters on its own, because information doesn't change your life. Action does. The mistake most people make is they watch videos like this, they feel motivated for a day, maybe even a week, and then life gets in the way. They stop posting, they stop building, and then 6 months later, they're exactly where they started. That's why I built the top 1%. Not because the world needs another course. It doesn't. The world has enough information. What people actually need is a roadmap, a business model, and a community that raises their standards. And the people around them that won't let them quit the first time things get hard. Because this isn't a personal branding course. It's a system for building a life you don't want to escape from. A personal brand is just one of the vehicles inside. But the business is what creates that freedom. This all starts with AI changing the world. But it ends here. Because if building your personal brand doesn't create opportunities, if your business doesn't buy back your time, if your money doesn't give you more freedom, then you've built the wrong thing. 5 years from now, you'll either have a reputation that's creating opportunities every single day, or you'll wish you'll start building one today. And that decision, it's not mine. That decision is yours. If you're serious about building a personal brand, turning it into a real cash flowing business, and surrounding yourself with people doing the exact same thing, go and see what we've built inside the top 1%. The link's in the description, boys. Watch the video, and if it feels like the right fit, then you can apply. Now, it's not for everyone, and I built it like that on purpose. But if it doesn't seem like the right fit, then no hard feelings. But whatever you do, don't spend another year watching everyone else build the life you know you actually wanted. And if I don't see your application, then I guess I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Thanks for watching.